everybody, it's Risa from Hudson Valley Vintage. So I wanted to show you some decoupage decor tissue paper from Redesign with Prima. So it comes in a whole bunch of different designs, and this one is called Giselle. And I don't have all of them, but I'll show you the ones I have. This one is called Thankful and Blessed, and it has a black background. I also have that in white, which we're going to be using. So that one is empty already. I took it out. Thankful and Blessed, and that one comes in white. Let's see, this one's called Grid. Nice for the holidays. This one is called Bridget. Really pretty. They're really great, and they're wonderful for furniture. They're wonderful for mixed media pieces, all kinds of uses. This one is called Ariel. Love that one. Very beachy. Let's see. This one is Zoe. And this one is called Farm to Table. And like I said, I don't have all of them. I have a lot of them, but I don't have all of them. If you see one online that you want me to get for you, I certainly can. And okay, so what are they for? You're probably wondering. They're great for furniture, almost as you would use a transfer. They're also great for mixed media. I was actually working on this piece for a workshop we're going to be doing early November, and I'm calling it my mixed media harvest box. So we're using a whole bunch of products from Redesign with Prima. So this is a class we're going to be doing in November, and I have a kit for it. So what I did is I used the paper as my background, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Okay, so I did one side already, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So I have a box, I've painted it. So you can do this on any surface, and I would paint it first. I prefer, if I'm going to do a transfer or if I'm going to do anything like this, any kind of mixed media piece, I like to paint it first. So I used a water-based paint, like a chalk style paint. I just want to make sure this is clean. All right, so this is what we're starting with, okay? I have some decoupage medium. I'm using, this is one that I particularly like. It's called Collage Page. It has a gloss finish. It also comes in a matte finish. This particular one is water resistant, and you're using it, you can use it as a glue, a sealer, and a finish. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to put a little bit in my plate, and I'm going to use a sponge brush. So I have this little sponge brush. No special brush. You could probably use a regular brush too. I don't think I would use a good paintbrush, because this is like a glue, so you probably wouldn't want to do that. Let's look at the paper. Okay. So when you open up the roll, it comes with two big long sheets. So this is a pretty long sheet. Let me see if it tells me what the measurement is. 19 by 30. Okay, so it's pretty long. I'm also going to show you the consistency. It's not like tissue paper at all. It's sort of more like a fabric, kind of a cross between fabric and dryer sheets, except dryer sheets rip much easier than this. And it's sort of sheer, and I cannot rip it apart as much as I try. So think about regular tissue paper, how much you can easily get it like crunched up, and you can tear it, it gets wrinkled. None of those things happen with this. It's super durable, and that's what makes it so easy to work with. So this is obviously way too big. So what I did was I folded it in half, just like that. And I took a scissor and just cut it right up the middle. So that's what I did. I already used my first piece on this side. So I have my second piece right here. This is the other half that I cut. And it comes with two big, full, long pieces, like I showed you. So each one comes with two of these big, long pieces. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing with it to see how I want the lettering to go on my piece. And I don't need to line it up perfectly like you would normally think, like on the edge. So you don't need to get it like this on the edge. And I'm gonna show you the trick to how you do that in a few minutes. So I'm sort of gonna put it in the middle, and I wanna get certain parts of the design on here. So that looks pretty good. I like the way that looks. All right, so I'm gonna put that aside, and I'm gonna take my decoupage medium, and again, I'm using Collage Page. And I'm just gonna start brushing it onto my surface. Now, I'm not gonna be drenching, I'm not gonna be like just loading it on, but I am using quite a bit. Don't be stingy with it, and you wanna cover the whole surface. Okay. So now I'm going to take my piece, and you want to make sure that you have it on the side showing up where you can read it. If it's backwards, then you have the wrong side. So you want to make sure that you have the right side up. So I'm going to just lay it down, and it's a little forgiving for I would say for, for maybe a minute. So now I'm just gonna take my hands and smooth it down. So think about when you're normally working with tissue paper, how when you're doing this part, it gets all wrinkly and it's just really difficult to work with. Well, this is not the case. In fact, look how smooth it is already. It's really amazing. There's no bubbles. It's just easy. It's amazing. So now I'm going to take my brush with my medium on it again, and I'm just going to cover the whole top of where my surface is. Now I'm not going all the way out beyond my surface. I'm just covering my surface. Okay, so I'm just finishing up putting my coating on top of my decoupage medium. And I just want to make sure that the sides are, not the sides, but the edges are covered. So I'm just kind of using my finger on the edges. Okay. So then what I would do at this point is I would just put this aside and let it dry. However, through the magic of the camera, I did this one earlier. So this one is dry, and because this is a pretty sheer one, as you can see the color of the paint underneath it. It's sort of like a gray. So you can see it a little bit through there. So you want to think about which design you're going to use when you decide on the paint color. So now it's all dry, but I have all this excess hanging off. Now I know that if I use a scissor, I'm not going to be able to get clean enough of an edge. So here's what I'm going to do. This is so easy, you won't believe it. So I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper. This is a 220 grit. I probably would use a little grittier one, but actually, here we go. This is a 150, I think, so I'll try this one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to push down on my edge right there. And sand it. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of elbow grease. You want to make sure you're sanding the edge, not sanding the face of this. So I'll turn this over a little bit so you can see. What I'm doing with my other hand is kind of pulling on the extra. And look how easy. And look how clean that edge is. It's just perfect. So I'm going to keep going. Here's the last little piece. And there we go. So this is what's left. And I would definitely keep this because, you know, you can use these if you're doing any sort of mixed media piece, collage, whatever you're doing, you can use these words for another project. So just take them and throw them in your bin, wherever you keep your stuff. So now this is all done, it's dry. Look how good that looks. These edges are perfect. They are so perfect. Look at that. Just with a little piece of sandpaper. So easy to do. Isn't that cool? So cool. So easy. So again, this is the product we use. It's from Redesign with Prima. Comes in a whole bunch of different designs. I showed you earlier which ones we have. If you see one that we don't have and you want it, let me know, and when I put my next order in, I can get it for you. Again, I'll show you the piece that I did. Where are you? There you are. So I did this piece for a project that we have coming up in early November. So on this one, at first I used the tissue paper, and over that I did a stencil, and then over that I did a redesign with Prima transfer. And then on the other side I did the same thing, but then I got a little glitzy. I used some stuff that I used some old buttons. I love old buttons. If you ever go on Etsy, or if you go like to a tag sale or something and can get old buttons, they're great. I used old buttons. I had some, what is that, washi tape? Is that what it's called? some of that. I have some glitter that I use over there, and some little pearl dots. So, but this was my base. So this is what I started with. So that's it, guys. That is the redesign with Prima Decoupage Decor tissue paper. Nothing like tissue paper. 100 times better. All right, guys. So that's it. Thank you for joining me in the middle of the day like this. Nice surprise that so many of you are watching. If you see this later and you have any questions about it, please just post in the comments. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your day.